Hello people, it's your boy Osman back again with another video. This time it's Manchester United taking on Brighton at Old Trafford. Some would say our bogey team in the last couple of years, but before I get into the video, I just want to say, if you haven't checked out our podcast, I did upload it last night. Check it out. Great chat with Keishan and Wassa. Shout out to both of them. And also, if you haven't checked out the watch along, then what the flipping hell are you doing? Because we watched along against Man United, well, obviously against Spurs, of course, with a Spurs fan, that being Keishan, of course. And to be honest with you don't want to flipping miss it. It was absolutely beautiful. But anyway, that aside, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, drop a like, all that bloody good stuff. Let's get into that flipping video. Manchester United v Brighton. Anyways, like I said, in the last couple of years, there have been our bogey team. Well, the last two times we played them anyways away from home at our ground. We did beat them in our last occasion. Ashley Young getting the only goal there. I think it was a deflection if I'm not mistaken, so I can't remember the goal off the top of my head, I'm not going to lie, but I do remember it being a pretty dead game, hence why it was a 1-0 deflection. Anyways, like I said, the last two times we lost 3-2 the last time we played under Jose Mourinho, and obviously we lost them in May as well. We lost 1-0. I think Glenn Murray scored on both occasions. Of course, he's the main threat from then. I know Knockout is a decent player as well, and they've got to grow, but who gives a about Brighton? Because we've got Martial, Rashford, and potentially Jesse Lingard, maybe Sanchez, maybe Lukaku, but we do know we've got some flipping firepower going forward. So let's talk about Manchester United's strength going into this game. Honest to God, after the Spurs game, I'm not going to lie, first and foremost, I was very critical of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after the game. Well, I wouldn't use the word critical, I think that's a bit harsh. I was a bit apprehensive regarding my critique or my overview of the way Solskjaer got on. First and foremost, the first half was absolutely fantastic by Solskjaer. I thought he outplayed Poch tactically, but the second half, for me personally, I felt that he didn't react quick enough. But nevertheless, after watching the game back, we did actually have quite a few chances in the second half. Pogba had two very clear chances, the one that he chipped it, and of course the one that he laid off. So you could argue that we should have been 3, maybe 4-0 up before they had all their chances. But nevertheless, very good test for Solskjaer. He passed it, like I said, in the watch along. But it's important that we continue to build on the momentum. Solskjaer quite clearly said in his press conference, I'm happy that the players are confident going into this game, but it's important that they are not complacent. And we have seen in the past how many times we are being complacent against teams like this. Like I've already said, we lost to Brighton already this season 3-2, and Pogba came out after the game saying that how complacent all the players were, the attitude wasn't good enough, including himself, of course. And so that's something for me personally that is a slight concern, because I feel like we are on such a high after the Spurs game. Me included as a fan, I'm expecting us to absolutely hammer them, so God knows what the players are thinking. But like I said, all the fans that I've spoken to leading up to this game, everyone is saying 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. You get the gist. Everyone thinks we're going to absolutely annihilate them. So it's important that the players don't go into the same, obviously, mentality, in the sense that, of course, they don't basically, underestimate them, so to speak. Anyways, like I said, our strengths, first and foremost, the front three have been fantastic under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but that man Paul Pogba has stepped up consistently under Solskjaer's reign so far, and you saw against Spurs, he absolutely controlled the game, I suppose more noticeably when Sissoko went off, to be fair, but even prior to that, he was very good, I thought, controlled the game, like I said. He was pivotal in pretty much everything good going forward in that sense. The most important thing for me personally is Matic and Herrera, in particular this game, because a lot of this game is going to be us controlling the game, obviously us having the ball a lot. They're going to be sat in two banks of forces. Very important that Herrera and Matic pass the ball very quickly through the lines into Pogba's feet, so he can distribute it to the forward players. Just a couple of things I do want to mention. If I was Brighton, I would look at Man United's weaknesses, and it's quite clear what our weaknesses are at the back. We're very poor from dealing with crosses, so Glenn Murray might get a bit of success there if they can get a decent ball in. So I would imagine they're going to be playing for set pieces and corner. Well, obviously corners are set pieces, but set pieces, the long ball, that kind of thing. Glenn Murray holding it up for his counterparts. You saw when we lost them 3-2, Glenn Murray was very pivotal in that win for them, and it's important that we do a job on Glenn Murray. To be honest with you, I'm expecting us to be a lot wiser than that, because you know, like I said, we've developed so much under Solskjaer. A lot of our players obviously are aware of Brighton's threats, because given the fact that we lost to them twice already in the last 12 months, really. So it's important that we obviously go into this game and do actually look at the things that they're going to try and target us at. Obviously, our defensive frailties will potentially we could get exploited in that sense. But the second thing, if I was Brighton, I would be pushing us out wide every given opportunity. Again, you saw against Spurs, every time we were forced out wide, we didn't really do much with the ball. Luke Shaw, for me personally, has to do a lot more. His final ball into the box is not good enough for a standard Man United fullback, and that also includes Ashley Young on the other side. For me personally, the fullbacks are practically wingers for Man United, especially in games like this where we're going to control the game consistently throughout. So not only do they need to get forward, but they actually need to contribute with actually putting some decent balls in the box. In Luke Shaw's defence, he's definitely capable of doing this. You saw for England when he played that fantastic ball for Rashford. Yeah, so he's definitely got it in his locker. But for me personally, it is a bit frustrating, because I've been a massive fan for Luke Shaw, but I can't just sit here and blindly support someone and back someone if they're not putting in the performances. And again, defensively, he needs to be more astute. He's allowing defenders to attackers to get past him way too easy on the outside, and he needs to block more crosses for me. So just going forward, like I said, if I was Brighton, I would push us out as far as we possibly can onto the wings and allow us to have basically the ball out wide as much as possible. Be very compact. That's what I'm expecting from Brighton. I'm expecting a team that's going to be very compact, pushing us out wide. And this is where Luke Shaw and Ashley Young are going to be very much pivotal for us. The quality of the ball has to be better. Lingard, for me, hasn't necessarily got the quality, although he has shown in glimpses that he is capable of putting a very good cross into the box. But in general, for me personally, the quality definitely has to improve. We can't just look for Martial. We can't just look for Rashford and Pogba. Other players have to step up as well and take accountability for that. So that's something that we do need to think about, because like I said, it could be a very frustrating night if we don't score in the first half. You know, you saw against Liverpool, they frustrated them massively for huge periods of the game. And to be honest with you, if Salah didn't dive like he does every other week, Liverpool might have struggled to get the 3 points there. It looked like Liverpool may have you know, been not may have, but they looked like they ran out of ideas to an extent. I know they were still creating chances prior to that goal, but they were pretty much, you know, hitting it at a brick wall in a sense, because Brighton were very good defensively and not really giving much opportunities away. So that's something that I have thought about going into my score prediction. I still think 5-0, no, I'm joking. But yeah, after Liverpool did score against Brighton, they pretty much capitulated. You saw Mane have like 3, 4, 5 sitters that he probably should have scored, and he would have scored on another day. So Liverpool probably could have won that game 5-0 by the end of it. But what I'm saying is, the first goal is very, very pivotal, as it is with every single game we play, especially against the lower teams, because they sit in those 2 blocks of 4, sometimes a 4-5-1 sort of thing. Obviously, that's what I'm expecting for them, 4-5-1, hitting it to Glenn Murray, hoping he frustrates us by winning those cheap free kicks, and obviously just holding the ball for other players. So for me personally, it's very, very important that we have a lot of movement in around the box. One thing I did like about our performance against Spurs, especially in the first half, was the interchange between the 3 forward players. You saw Jesse, Martial and Rashford consistently changing positions. Obviously, we know Jesse was in the middle predominantly, but you saw Martial and Rashford switching wings, and also you saw Martial going to the centre, that kind of thing. And obviously that makes it more difficult for defenders to pick up their man, because obviously we don't know who's playing in what position. Obviously when they're on the pitch, they will communicate, okay, Rashford's your player, etc, etc. Obviously if he's constantly moving about, it is very difficult for them to pick up the players. And also for me personally, Herrera and Pogba have to make those runs into the box. Obviously I know that they're going to be pulling the strings and obviously dictating play, but for me personally, one of them two needs to get into the box consistently throughout the game, just to give us an extra body in the box. The last thing we want is just having 2 people in the box. Obviously under Jose Mourinho, a lot of times we just had Lukaku in the box, and obviously that wasn't ideal at all. And now at least we have 2 players in the box. If Martial's got the ball, we normally see Rashford and Lingard in the box, and if Lingard's got the ball, we normally see Martial and Rashford in the box. But for me personally, we need to overload the box in every opportunity we can get, because obviously it'll make it more difficult for them to pick up players, and especially with Pogba's calibre in the air, they're not going to be able to mark him. Obviously if they give him half a yard, you saw against, I think it was Bournemouth, when he scored that header, you give him half a yard, he's an absolute absolute monster. So for me personally, it's very, very important. Not only do we have people obviously interchanging positions and people running in behind, but we also have Herrera or Pogba getting to the box consistently. Obviously, ideally, I want that to be Pogba. He has said in his interview, I think it was yesterday, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has told him you need to get into the box more, you need to be in more attacking positions. So that's obviously a positive as well, because that's what we want from Pogba. He is very dangerous in the final third, and that's exactly where we need him if we're going to cause Brighton problems consistently throughout the game. Anyways, going into the lineup, obviously I've not spoken about the lineup much. Basically, main reason being is because I won't actually change the team apart from Bailly for Jones. For me, it's a no-brainer. I don't think Jones is good enough to play for Man United. Although he hasn't done too bad in the last couple of games, he's a liability. To be fair, against Spurs, you got people I saw on I think it was United fan cams. A lot of people giving Jones credit. I honestly don't know what game they were watching, because for me personally, Kane was spinning Jones consistently throughout the whole game. A lot of the chances did come from Jones' side, and also I do want to reiterate that obviously Lindelof was responsible for some of the chances. But for me personally, Lindelof has been fantastic so far in particular the last couple of months. So for me personally, it's a no-brainer. Take Jones out, bring Bailly back in, give him a chance to redeem himself from the red card. But yeah, in general, keep the front three. I don't see why you would change anything else. The only other change I can think is maybe Fred for Herrera, just to give Fred an opportunity to play against a team that we're likely to control the game and obviously build a bit of confidence. But minus them two changes, I can't see why he would change anything else. He has said Sanchez is fit, so hopefully Sanchez will get 20-30 minutes at the end with Lukaku, and hopefully they can contribute again just to build a bit of momentum with the players off the bench as well. Because you saw against Spurs, I know Lukaku came on, but for me personally, we needed more threat going forward in the second half, and it looked like our players were tired. It would have been perfect for Sanchez to come on alongside Lukaku, fresh legs, and just give that extra dimension later on in the game. And for me personally, that's something that we need to utilise consistently in the next coming weeks. Obviously, we have got quite a few big games coming up. Just a bit on Lingard. I know some people don't think I rate Lingard. I do rate Lingard massively, but for me personally, Lingard's a big game player. I would use him more consistently against the big teams. I think against the low teams that part of the bus practically against United, you need players who have quality on the ball. And I don't mean he doesn't have quality at all, but I'm on about people that can create chances consistently. And for me, Sanchez is definitely a player that can create a chance from nothing. So is Martial, Rashford, Pogba, etc. Lingard is obviously capable of doing that. His link-up play is absolutely fantastic, and the chemistry that he has with the boys up front is also fantastic. Obviously the spaces he creates for other places with his movement is also fantastic, and he shouldn't go and miss. But I'm just talking about that killer pass. He hasn't got that, and Sanchez has. So there's no criticism to Lingard. He's a fantastic asset to have, and I absolutely love him. To be honest, I genuinely love him. I know a lot of people criticize him for his personality off the pitch, but I absolutely buzz off it. He's just a normal lad enjoying his life. Fair play to him. But yeah, that's just my sort of 2 cents on Lingard. Apart from that, quick score prediction. Leave yours in the comments as well. I am going to go for 4-0 Man United. I think we're going to get a clean sheet again. Although I think they're going to try to utilise the long ball to Glenn Murray. I think we'll be able to dominate this game. I think Pogba's going to have another stormer. I'm hoping Martial finally gets a goal, because it has been in quite a few games that he hasn't scored yet and hasn't really contributed in a few weeks. But in general, his overall play has been quite good. But hopefully, like I said, Martial and Co can step up and obviously contribute, chip in with the goals. But like I said, 4-0 Man United, it's going to be a fairly straightforward game in my eyes. Only threat from them is set pieces. Anyways, that aside, hopefully you enjoyed my preview. Feel free to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. Kill Man United! Come on!